All right, welcome. This is the Evan and Peaches Show, episode 3. A little bit of trouble to get started.
In Chinatown?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I kind of feel bad because I banished our daughter to the basement playing video games and watching a movie and playing the tablet all at the same time.
Which movie did she pick?
She didn't pick it. We picked it.
Oh, okay.
American Tail. Apparently it's got anti-Semitic overtones, according to our guest. I'm not aware of this.
And
but
mouse trafficking. You could be construed as human trafficking.
Well, yeah, since they personify the mice. We'll get to mice later, because there's a good story about that. Seeing as though he already interjected, I'm going to introduce our guest. He's a national security expert, Krav Maga master. For those that don't know, that's where you kick people in the nuts. He goes by Albino Justin, and he was born in a coal mine.
All those things are completely true. None are exaggerated or fabricated.
That's good.
All.
That's good, because, it wouldn't be... I mean, there's no way you could be from Pittsburgh and not have been, like, spitting out soot on the way out, so...
Well, I mean... There's stories from my grandma's time that they would actually go out in the city, on a weekend or what have you. And if you had white gloves or any sort of, lighter colored article, they would be, gray or black by the time you're done being out and about in the city, just from the soot and all the industrial waste.
That's pretty disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that people, were able to reproduce in that environment without, like, 3 eyeballs, stuff like that. But... the average person only lived to, 32?
Yeah, exactly. And, we have great plastic surgeons for removing those extra eyeballs.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, you see, I was thinking about it as diet wouldn't matter. You could eat whatever you want if you know you're going to die of, mesothelioma or something.
If your lungs just literally turn into pretty much a mine themselves.
Yeah, I mean, what's a cigarette going to do when you're breathing in, straight up coal? Actually, coal, well, is that charcoal? Is that like the same thing? It filters stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
You take like a charcoal pill and it.
It's what
pinches.
You do if you're poisoned.
What? Like if you're poisoned, right? You take charcoal.
Yeah.
Like you mash up your charcoal from your grill and you put it in your body. Okay, there's a weird. Oh, that is Liliana's movie. If you can hear that, that is bagpipes from American Tail.
Okay.
A lot louder than I thought it would be. Maybe it's just...
I feel like it's good ambiance, to be honest with you.
Well, we've been thinking about, we don't have special effects. Now, apparently, we have bagpipes. But, as I was saying, charcoal is good for cleanses, right?
Yeah, they have, facial scrubs with charcoal in them, or you take a pill, if you have alcohol poisoning or something.
Are you familiar with this?
No.
Well, yeah, so, they have, actual pills for it now, but back in the day, you could just mash up... it still wouldn't be good for you, but it's better than, if you need to use that to absorb something bad in your body. Probably whatever damage the charcoal might do is going to be better off than leaving that to kill you.
Is the charcoal gluten-free?
No, because I sprinkled flour in it beforehand.
Oh, okay. I figured as much, which... Totally not a part of, the planned part of the show, because this is entirely scripted. Have you ever, blasted flour in somebody's face? What is that called?
It's called antiquing.
Antiquing?
It's from the days of CKY, which, eventually becomes Jackass.
Is that a lubricant?
Yes. No, it's KY, not CKY.
Oh.
CKY, can't kill yourself.
Can't kill yourself, except if you have celiac.
Exactly.
I'd probably not die either. I'd just be really uncomfortable.
So that's what they would, Bam Margera and them, they would do to his dad when he was sleeping.
Rest in peace, right? Is Bam dead?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought Bam was dead.
Maybe.
No, it's that other guy. It's the...
Steve-O?
No, he's not dead.
Oh.
It's one of them. It died. It wasn't the little guy either.
Wee Man?
No, it wasn't Wee Man. Oh, he might be dead for all I know. I don't know.
But yeah, you take a thing of flour and you cup it in your hand like a snowball or something. Then you run up to someone who's sleeping and you fling it in their faces really hard. And when it's impacted like that, it actually makes a little bit of poof in their
Oh,
face.
cool. That sounds gross. Especially because, it's poison to me.
Yes.
That'd be a hate crime, actually.
It would be. It's true.
I mean, if you knew I had celiac and you did that, I think I'd be able to get hate crime charges. That's manipulating somebody's disability. Totally not okay. Not a big fan. So please never do that to me.
That lady in Richmond, she had a disability.
Oh, yeah. So if you haven't heard, it probably was taken down because...
It was taken down.
Because YouTube and Facebook are terrible. I'm surprised they don't take this down. But there's a woman who was panhandling, and she pretended to be homeless, and then she got into a 2014 Fiat. And then the people recording the video are like, "Who are you? You're not homeless." And then she tried to get the McDonald's person to get involved, and she's like, "Hell no! I'm not going to get involved with this. You're crazy."
Well, yeah, they even because they were standing a good distance away from her, and they're like, obviously don't get near her, don't touch her, whatever. They weren't restricting her in any sense of the word. She could have just gotten in her car and left if she had wanted to, but she wanted to continue to try to elicit sympathy from the bystanders even. And as soon as they explained the situation to the lady at the McDonald's drive-thru and pointed to her car in the parking lot, the lady's face was just like, yeah, I'm not, lady, just get out of here.
I think my favorite part was that the woman kept telling him that they're going to get killed. And I didn't know what that meant. Get away from me. You're probably going to get killed. By who?
Yeah.
Are you going to kill me? I mean, at least... It's nice that you're telling me.
Apparently, I was reading the comments, and some people from Richmond chimed in because they're like, I see this lady on a daily basis when I'm driving to work or something, and they said she's super aggressive too. Comes to your window and just stares you down, taps on your window, and all these things.
And I'm not trying to offend our homeless listeners. I know that there are, legitimate homeless people.
Yeah, you don't want someone sullying, the good name of people who are really out there struggling and trying to get some money to get food. You don't want someone, you don't want people to be turned off and not give money because they're like, well, what if this person's just faking? I don't want to give, I don't want to deal with this and give this person.
I mean, she was wearing yoga pants. I kind of you're wearing yoga pants, and she looked like she... I mean, okay, this is my opinion. She looked like she was trying to get money from meth. Not a big fan of meth. I haven't done it, but no, it's not my drug of choice. I mean, why would you want to speed things up? Is that what it does? It's a stimulant, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I'm totally about not heroin either. Not a big fan of drugs like that. I like to slow things down, legally. We're not going to get into this. This is going to get bad. So
yeah, exactly.
Let's go into the agenda. And I didn't want to lose our liberal audience so soon, so I'll wait until now to announce what we're about to talk about. Which, by the way, I have no idea what the makeup of our audience is. Between liberal, conservative, intelligent. I don't know.
They should let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Seriously, if you like this show, please comment. If you have comments to improve the show, I really need them. What? Suggestions, not
suggestions.
Topic suggestions. Maybe maybe the video quality wasn't very good. I mean, this is a podcast and there's no video, but you can complain about whatever you want. But now I'm going to offend all of our liberal audience and tell you that Michelle Obama is frankly out of touch with reality. She wants to be government mom. Actually, she already was government mom. I'm not talking about her as first lady. I'm talking about her becoming the school lunch lady Nazi. She mandated her healthy children program or whatever where they banished whole wheat. No, they didn't. They should have. They should have, because whole wheat's bad for me. They said everything had to have whole grains. They said reduce the salt. And last but not least, as something that totally offends me as being from Wisconsin, you cannot have flavored milk with fat in it. Now these are 3 deal breakers for me because first off, school lunch tastes like crap. You need salt. Whole grains, we already talked about it last episode. White rice is fine. Actually, I really like that yellow. What was that? Do you remember the yellow rice? It was like a buttered rice, but it wasn't. It might have been orange. It depends on the school you went to.
Spanish rice?
It was kind of Spanish, but it wasn't. It had like a weird flavor. It probably wasn't natural.
I feel like it was a Spanish rice.
Yeah, it was Spanish. Rice.
Well, it definitely wasn't Spanish. I mean,
well, it's not like literally Spanish, but
yeah,
it's called Spanish rice.
Yeah, it's called Spanish rice.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure that didn't have whole grains. And that was like my favorite rice growing up, and I wasn't fat. So, like we talked about the white rice thing, and then the salt additives. Oh, I said that. What was the third one?
No.
Oh my God. How can you ban fat in milk when another thing I should have mentioned last episode is that fat is good for you. It's not bad for you like everybody said back in the 90s.
Well, I mean, so it depends on the type of fat, right? And you get into the whole discussion of what fats are good for you, what fats aren't. Like Tony, Slumlord Tony, expressed surprise at me whenever he saw that I buy, regular peanut butter and regular mayonnaise and not, because most stuff I, watch what I eat relatively, but, he was surprised I wasn't buying the low or reduced fat items.
Well, I heard that albinos are actually advised to eat more fat. It helps their melanin. Something about that.
Why do you have to bring up my disability? All right.
Because we talked about mine. I don't know if Peaches wants to get into hers. Hers is being married to a guy with a disability. And by the way, my disability actually doesn't disable me from doing anything. I am a perfectly disabled person, to not offend our disabled audience. Which I don't think we have an audience. I mean, am I wrong? Or is it just people want to be on the show but nobody listens? Is that what's going on?
I don't know. How many views do you have?
I don't count. I just put it on the internet and just, there it is.
YouTube has all sorts of statistics that I think as the content provider you can look and see.
Exactly. And I did look one time and it spiked to 12 and then it was like 3. By the way, we got our first comment on a video. I think it was on our first episode. It was from... I will not say his name. I'll just say that he is a very strong black man. And I say that because if you click on his profile in the comments, you'll see that he is subscribed to Thick Women. And I thought that was a great channel, as well as bodybuilding. So I thought it was funny. You can learn a lot about a person by the channels they subscribe to. You don't know who this is, do you?
I have no idea.
You used to sit in his chair.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah.
Very good guy. I'll just say one of Tennessee's finest. He's one of Tennessee's finest. There's a couple more. Maybe we'll get some of those guys on the show because they like Memphis a lot. I hear Memphis is a really nice place. But I digress.
Not to jump around too much, but just in that same vein. It comes down to, social media and, to kind of foreshadow maybe something later. It comes down to social media and selling yourself, right? To get more viewership, to spread the word, to, things of that nature.
Oh, I'm totally jealous of this guy. I mean, he weighs the same as me, but he's not fat. I mean, I'm not fat either. I mean, I'm obese, but I'm not fat. You know what I'm saying? I'm totally different. But... yeah, you're right. That is a way to sell yourself. So we'll get to that later. More on the Michelle Obama thing. She said that the president hates your children because he's allowing them to eat food that tastes better and has the 3 things we talked about, which is not as much of a restriction on salt, the adding fat to flavored milk, and then naturally not making everything whole grains. Now, the reason why they did the whole grains thing is because apparently in the South people like biscuits and gravy, and it's disgusting because biscuits are made with wheat, and we know gravy oftentimes has wheat. So the gluten-free me doesn't like that, but I'm sure it tastes good. Have you ever had biscuits and gravy?
At school?
Yeah. You're from Pittsburgh. They gave you like I don't know. They just gave you food. I mean, you're not from the South.
The same crap you get anywhere. I mean, I don't think it changes. You have the weird, hexagonal Mexican pizza that's, I'm doing air quotes, that you can't really, it's not really like Mexican.
What about the mock chicken leg? What was that? You remember mock chicken legs?
No.
Anybody remember mock chicken legs? They look like a drumstick, but they're not a drumstick. And they're really weird. I don't know how to explain them.
But we did have this one, we went through this one phase at school where So, like milk obviously comes in little cartons. You have your carton of milk, whatever.
You ever open the wrong side?
Yes, plenty of times.
Yeah, it's a pain. Then you open the other side, and I'm probably stupid. Whatever. Keep going.
So, at one point, I don't remember, maybe I was in like 4th or 5th grade or something, they replaced the cartons with these bags, those plastic bags
that's crap.
of milk.
That's crap, because that's not even good milk. I have no idea, but was it a pain?
Because it's like, think of like a Capri Sun, but even worse, because it's like not in like the nice like foil thing, like it's in just a flimsy plastic bag. So you poke through it super easy, and just like and then not to mention the slingability of a plastic. So of course, the poor kids that got bullied are getting bags of milk slung at them.
Were you bullied?
I was not bullied.
You were not bullied. Were you a bully?
No, I was friends with the bullies, so I didn't get bullied.
I was friends with everybody because I kind of felt like, okay, I'm going to offend everybody if I keep talking. I was going to bring up Jesus. Not doing it. Back to, sorry, Mom. Back to it. Were you were heavy as a child, right?
Yes.
You were fat.
Yes.
Was it because of school lunch?
No.
Why were you fat?
Well, I actually had a hyperactive metabolism, so much so that the doctors were concerned with how hyperactive it was, until whenever I don't remember what age, but when I was a kid, my wonderful brother hit me with his bike, and my leg got wrapped in the chain, and
this story's way worse than I thought it was going to.
My left leg was broken in like 15 places, including my growth plate.
This is really traumatic.
And then after that, my metabolism just decided to stop enjoying life, apparently.
So you almost died.
I did not almost die. I did almost possibly have like a gimp left leg if my leg decided not to grow.
Then we could have called you Gimpy Leg Justin.
Could have called me Gimpy Leg Justin, it's true.
The albino gimp. That'd be a cool
From the coal mine. They wouldn't have let me in the coal mine because I wouldn't have been able to effectively cart coal.
Yeah, you can't have a cane or whatever. But, so you got fat because of your brother.
Yes.
So you used to be morbidly skinny. And then you became obese or morbidly obese?
I don't know what category I fell into.
What size were your cups?
Oof, I don't know.
Yeah, when you're wearing.
You're also talking about I was a kid at the time, so that's kind of awkward.
Sorry.
You're taking it to weird places.
Okay, I'm not. I'm sorry. I know you're from Pennsylvania. They got Jerry Sandusky. We don't need to go there. Don't know why.
Soon.
Yeah,
Too soon.
Probably Joe Pa. Rest in peace. But all right. So school lunch didn't make you fat.
No, school lunch did not make me fat.
I mean, not your mom, but your lack of thyroid working properly. So that I think that's the thing, is that I think Michelle Obama is thinking that by mandating very strictly what we eat in our lunches, that is what makes kids fat. I think it's just parenting is what makes kids fat. And by the way, for you that have fat kids, I hope you don't take this personally, although you should. It's what you're probably feeding them and not necessarily what the school's feeding them. Because the last thing we want to do is, I already have enough problems with school lunch not letting us bring peanut butter because of all these hippie parents that give their kids peanut allergies. I don't know if I'm not trying to get into science here because, I complained about Bill Nye and here I am doing science. But I'm just saying, we didn't have problems with peanut allergies to the scale we do now because people didn't introduce peanuts to their kids because they're afraid to. And now we're telling them eat these things, whole grains, and that they're not even eating their whole lunch. My daughter tells me she doesn't even eat the lunch. She just grabs honey buns.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's
she smuggles them.
That's what
she's
they do. 5. That's what they do in prison, so.
Well, school was like prison, but I went to a Catholic school, so that probably makes sense. But the fact that a 5-year-old knows, man, lunch is this is crap. I'm going to smuggle honey buns home is just ridiculous. Peaches, how many of you has she done?
I don't know. I just find them in her backpack.
So
she tell me.
So she just got loads of honey buns just sitting in her backpack?
Yeah, she's like, oh, I got that from school. was like, okay.
Which, by the way, I'm surprised they actually have those. Are those for the teachers?
I have no idea. She doesn't tell me where she gets them.
We have a little
From the prison commissary.
Yeah, exactly. We have a little narco. What are they called? Klepto. Yeah, that's it. Kleptomaniac. Good thing my daughter has got that going on. She's only 5. She's got time to hone her skills.
School lunches are terrible, regardless of whether you try and make them healthy or, regardless, they never taste good. You might have like 1 or 2 items that kids get excited for. But I mean, it comes down to parents teaching their kids healthy eating habits, right? Like, and building that lifestyle outside of school.
Yeah, like eating together as a family. Do we have any healthy eating lifestyle habits?
I mean, we or you?
You and the daughter.
We eat vegetables.
They eat vegetables. I buy vegetables for them and myself. I don't refuse to eat them. I just forget. But this isn't about me. It's about school lunches. And like Justin said, I think that when it comes down to it, if the kid eats their lunch, they're going to be healthier. There's more things to worry about when they get home. It's up to the parents. It's about that kind of thing. So it's about personal responsibility. Please take care of your kids.
And
teach
being
them
active.
Being active, and don't just give them soda all the time. I mean, you can't even you can't buy a Happy Meal with soda unless you ask for it now. So even McDonald's is getting in on the act. Which, by the way, I had a bad reaction to gluten just from being around it. Like, I opened the window, I paid for my McDonald's, I got a Happy Meal for the daughter, and then I started breaking out in a rash because there was, gluten coming from the window. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But
I don't think I've eaten McDonald's in like 8 years.
Last time I ate McDonald's, I had a double Quarter Pounder, a double cheeseburger plain, and a McChicken, and a large. They still have supersized fries? I didn't have a drink.
That sounds like my older brother's order.
I used to order Diet Coke to limit the calories of the meal, but I had that, and let me tell you what happened. Anybody who's ever just like drank 5 beers in an hour, you know what it's like. You get really drunk fast, and that's kind of what happened, and it upset my stomach so much that I'm sorry, I'm talking about vomiting, but I vomited, right? And the weird thing is I felt drunk from eating McDonald's, literally to the point. I mean, I used to be an alcoholic, and I'm not anymore because, you don't have to be your whole life. Trust me. I was never addicted to alcohol. I just liked it. The thing is that when you feel this way, when you're drunk and you didn't drink alcohol, it's really weird and it's disgusting. And I was like, the world. You get the spins. When you get the spins from McDonald's, you know that's terrible for you.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible. I mean, I don't like getting it from drinking it. I don't want to get it from eating some food.
It tasted the same on the way out that it did on the way in.
Well, from what I hear, I guess, ice cream is, pretty much the same thing. So if you throw up ice cream, it's just like, oh, hey, it's ice cream. That's cool.
Well, I mean, it tasted like
except it's warm.
Yeah, warm. It's not really ice cream, then. Now it's just cream. So, yeah, it tasted like a double Quarter Pounder on the way out. I probably should not. I'm not going to describe my vomit.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
All right. Well,
even though I contributed to it, so I'm.
You're right. I will switch now that we lost all of our liberal audience. I'm going to switch to Donald Trump because he's probably going to be one of our greatest presidents of all time for this one reason. He believes that exercise is bad for you. Okay, so I was being facetious. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He believes that everybody has a life force, and when you exercise, like when you kick somebody in the nuts in Krav Maga,
yeah,
or whatever, I call it Krav Maga. I mean, isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Okay, good. And it is about kicking people in the nuts.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
like Israeli nut kicking.
Yes, Israeli nut kicking.
Okay, good.
It's a technical technique.
Well, I figure they go over that on day
Technical
one. Like
term.
to join the Krav Maga club, they Rochambeau you. They just go up, they kick you in the nuts, and they say welcome. But anyway, he believes you have a life force. So anytime you exercise, you're actually wasting your life force. That's why when he golfs, he rides in a cart. He doesn't believe in exercise. He doesn't go on walks. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He eats McDonald's, KFC.
Ooh, you know where he probably got this from? I think he watched Wall-E, and he saw those people floating in the chairs, and he thought, like, holy crap, these people live forever, and look at this awesome life they lead. This is obviously what we need to do.
And they're always on their screen, like they're tweeting each other and stuff like that. I think you're onto something there, because that's actually how he feels. Did you know he actually chastised one of his employees who said, "Hey, I'm training up for an Ironman."
Is that what the employee sounded like?
Yeah. Well, it definitely didn't sound like a woman. I mean, let's get serious here. No, sorry. So he chastised him, and he said, "You're going to die." And he was serious. He said, "You're going to die way early. You're going to die young." When he told the guy, because because naturally by working out, you're going to get a heart attack. That's rumor on the street. That's Donald Trumpian logic. So you're using up your life force, and he compared himself to his old friends. And again, he doesn't have any old female friends. He just divorces them once they reach a certain age, and then he just replenishes.
Ships a new one in from Eastern Europe.
Yeah, exactly. It's a place where he loves immigrants from Eastern Europe, but his older friends, he was complaining that the ones that exercise, they were getting knee replacements, whatever replacements, I don't know, like hip replacements. And he's like, "I've never had a hip replacement. I've never had a knee replacement." So obviously that means that by not exercising, he's avoided these things, and he's going to live until he's like 120.
Maybe if his friends took fish oil on a regular basis, their joints would be better.
You might be onto something there, because I take fish oil and I feel better.
No?
By the way, burp-free nature-made fish oil, only 1,200 milligrams. Buy it at your Walgreens for, I don't even know. I'm just pretending to have an advertisement. Maybe they'll pay me to say that.
Nah, go to GNC. It's headquartered in Pittsburgh, so.
Really?
Yeah.
There's healthy people in Pittsburgh?
Now there are. I mean, you have to try and help. I mean, there was lots of people to help from, issues from the coal mine, so they get, feed them all supplements, half of which probably don't do anything, to try and make them better. Yeah,
that's pretty neat. I mean, whenever I go to not Walgreens, GNC, Peaches knows this. I just go up to the guy that's just giant and ripped, and I'm just like, "Hey, man, I just started working out, and I run 3 times a week, and I lost 10 pounds." He's like, "Good for you. That's amazing." And I tell him about all the fat I eat, and he's like, "Yeah, that's the diet." And he told me all these things, and I'm going to look like him someday. Like that episode of Gumball I watched yesterday where the dad got ripped because he was trying to chase food. He was exercising. They put it out in front of him.
That's a super weird show. I just want you to know. Okay,
if you're not into my podcast, or our podcast, I should say, watch Gumball instead. It's very entertaining. So, yes, our president's insane. He doesn't think exercise is good.
That sounds like some sort of almost like New Age, or some weird, pretty much it's a religion, right?
Dr. Oz.
Like, if I don't do anything, my life force will. Let's say if he becomes Jabba the Hutt, he will live forever.
I mean, Jabba the Hutt didn't have it that bad. He had that dancer lady. Yeah, but that was kind of weird. She's on a chain. Dancer. Yeah, I mean.
Slave.
Slave.
Sorry, guys. I'm not condoning slavery, okay? Gosh darn it. It makes me seem like a weird, it's not like a fetish, okay?
Anyway.
Thank you, Peaches. But back to what you're saying, Jabba the Hutt, that type of thing, that lifestyle, there are a lot of things that are not really proven with science. It's very conspiratorial or whatever that he prescribes to.
Well, I mean, I feel like we have... I mean, I have no idea. I don't make a, academic study of nutrition, but I mean, I feel like there's so many issues with trying to make such bold, sweeping generalized statements of this isn't good for you, this is good for you, and I feel like it goes back and forth so much because people's body chemistry is different, right? So I mean, that's why nutritionist is a career path, because how people process things are completely different. So what might be good for you might be, bad for another person, might be very good for the next person,
Right. So because I'm so scientific, if you can't see me, I'm probably more albino than Albino Justin. I'm very white. Yes. But my ancestors, and I like to say my ancestors, and they weren't the pioneers, they're from Northern Europe. And by the Northern Europe, I'm talking about Iceland, Ireland, Poland, and Norway. There's no German in there.
I don't think Poland is.
Hey, Poland, you know what?
It's
Poland,
not Northern Europe.
Whatever. Poland is cool, though. I like Poland. Copernicus is Polish. But back to what we're saying, I don't think fruits grew in any of the places that my ancestors are from. So that's why I don't eat fruit.
And there had to be some sort of fruit that's indigenous to, yes.
No.
Yeah.
Elk.
Yes, elk. The fruit elk, yes.
Tree leaves. So those are your green leafy vegetables. You're just eating maples.
So if trees can grow there, that means fruit can grow there, right?
Yep.
That's a lie.
No, it's not.
Peaches, her ancestors had plenty of fruit and vegetables, which is why she eats fruits and vegetables. My ancestors ate cows and chickens. That's why I eat cows and chickens. Whatever. I'm just trying to say that you're right. Everybody has a different thing that they can eat. There's no set way to do it, but what you should do is everything in moderation.
Yep. It's honestly the best way to go about it.
That's what my mom said.
If you don't, I mean, it's such a silly, old kind of statement that, everyone's like, oh, you've heard it a billion times, but I mean, it's true. If you don't go overboard on things, on any one particular thing, I mean, you're generally not going to go wrong.
Right. So, I mean, video games.
Except meth. Just don't, meth never once,
Oh, yeah. There's no such thing as meth in moderation. I get it. I was going to say that, like, anything in moderation, even sports in moderation. You shouldn't play a sport year-round and burn out your kids. Social media in moderation. I
mean, and for sports and everything, it's the same thing. If you get an injury or something, and you maybe it might be like a minor, sprain or something that you can keep on playing with, and then you keep on going at it, and you exacerbate it into something even worse. So I mean, that's where physical activity can get people in trouble, where they don't give their bodies time when they might get a minor injury.
Right. I go back to the Native Americans, where they hunted the buffalo, which were really the American bison. But they weren't American bison to them because America has to do with Amerigo Vespucci and then just gets into European colonialism. And I don't really care. I mean, it's history. But they would only hunt buffalo probably when they needed it. So it's like that was maybe a sport to them, and survive. And then you do something physical and then you don't need to keep doing it. You weren't going to just... so just go back in time. People didn't overdo it, except for the gladiators. And then they died.
But I mean, they were also slaves, so...
What's up with us going back to slavery?
I mean, gladiators were slaves.
Don't say us.
Us.
It's all you.
It's all me. I'm a sick man. Brought up Jerry Sandusky and now slaves. All right, so now that we're moving on, we're going to talk about some social media stuff. Justin's an expert in social media. He knows all about swiping left. Is that a thing?
I mean, swiping left is like, you're saying no, right?
That's no?
Yeah, left is no.
Oh, to the left?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
is that what Beyonce's talking about? She's just talking about online dating?
No.
Yep,
that's
it.
Something?
No.
No. What is she talking about?
Oh my god.
And why is she criticizing the left? I'm left-handed. You're left-handed.
I am also left-handed.
What does Beyonce have against left-handed people?
I feel like this is something that needs investigated.
Well, maybe, what if Jay-Z's left-handed? Peaches, nothing?
No.
What does to the left mean?
Those are not all the lyrics. The whole song is to the left, to the left.
The whole thing I hear is to the left, everybody to the left.
No! That's not even... Oh my god.
No?
You're so dumb.
That's the only Beyonce song I know.
No, it's not.
It's definitely not as good as Lil Wayne,
Lil Wayne, okay. before we get into social media, the Carter 3 was probably the most important album to mankind until the Carter 4 happened. And Lil Wayne likes to bowl, just like Mookie Betts. Center fielder, right
He's
fielder.
also a Packers fan.
Oh, Lil Wayne's a Packers fan, which is not a Steelers fan.
Snoop Dogg is a Steelers fan.
He took the Black and Yellow song. Was it Black and Yellow?
Yeah.
He was like green and yellow, green and yellow.
Yeah.
See, I know that's the only Lil Wayne song I know is a parody of Black and Yellow, which I don't even know what Black and Yellow
Which
is.
I think the
except
Wiz
for
Khalifa song wasn't even supposed to be about like the Steelers or anything before that.
Was it about snakes?
I
Like
don't know.
yellow and black, fun
I
of
don't
Jack.
actually pay attention.
Red and yellow,
to,
kill a fellow. You ever heard of that?
Yes.
But in the song there wasn't red and yellow, so I don't know.
Right. So he was only talking
He's
about
not talking about the coral snake.
He's talking about friendly snakes.
The coral snake.
But I digress. You can find all this stuff on YouTube, but not until after the show. Social media, as I said, Justin's a big social media fan. He's everywhere.
Yes.
Where are you on social media?
I have a massive online presence with my no accounts on anything. No Facebook. No, I mean, I guess technically I have a Google Plus, but that's just because I have an email.
Doesn't everybody have a Google
yeah,
Plus?
yeah.
And then naturally, every time I log into my email, it says missed call mom. I don't know when you called me mom. I don't know. Miss video call. I mean,
okay.
It was like Google Plus is forcing you to have Google Plus, but you didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, I even have a Google phone, and they have like the little
Who made
stuff
it?
on there.
You don't have the Huawei one.
No,
do
I
you?
don't have the Huawei one. No.
Okay. I'm biased against certain companies from certain countries. But back to business. You're not very social media. Why are you not into social media?
Well, I already don't like people in general,
Okay,
so I
that's
don't
good to
want to
hear.
interact with large amounts of people online. Not to mention, I don't like having my stuff be public. Like, I mean, this is probably like what we're doing right now is probably like the most public.
So you feel like this is equivalent to like maybe to some person like in old school where Will Ferrell's running down the street naked. That's basically what you're doing right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You're public streaking.
Yes.
I felt the same way. I felt like I was exposing myself by creating a YouTube channel. That's why I changed my name on YouTube, and it didn't work, and I probably should change it back because it was
Probably.
stupid. People don't even know who I am. I already gave my name. My name's Evan. I mean, that's not really a mystery. But you're right. I think there's also another thing about social media people don't realize is that we didn't have it 10 years ago.
No, I mean that's
Or 15 years ago, I should say.
no, and I think that's why you see such big differences. And I mean, I'm just a little bit younger than you, not much.
Yeah.
But you see such differences between people my age, people your age, people my age, and then going back younger because this technology was at different points, when people were going through high school. And those are such formative years that it makes such a big difference in how they grew up. And so, whenever I was in high school, I think maybe junior, sophomore year, the first Razor Motorola phone had just come out, and that was the extent of mobile technology at that point.
Yeah, it was amazing. It flipped open. It's pretty cool. Really technologically sound. And it had lights behind the numbers.
Yeah, it had a better camera. That was still absolutely terrible.
Yeah, exactly. For
standards.
them, for Diglett pics. Okay, I'm not getting into that either. Sorry. Get that image out of your head. But the thing is that kids are growing up on social media now. When I was, again, I'm going to date myself, but Facebook was only for college people. So college students, which, since I dropped out so quickly, I guess I should have gotten kicked off. But that was the point, is to connect with your college peers. MySpace, embarrassingly enough, I'm pretty sure if I still had one, it would still have the 2004 Boston Red Sox World Series, which, by the way, I hate the Red Sox. I just liked them because they weren't the Yankees. And the Brewers were terrible, okay? I'm a Brewers fan through and through. I cheated on them a little bit in 2004 by cheering for the Red Sox, but I hope I redeem myself by staying on the bandwagon through the worst years. But that was it. I mean, there was social media was AIM,
What about, yeah,
AOL Instant Messenger,
I was just thinking that, honestly.
and that was from your computer after you dialed up, or if you had broadband.
Yeah, I mean, like
So-
you went home, so like you would talk with someone at school or whatever.
The chat rooms.
and then
We're going to chat room.
Yeah, and then you'd be like, oh, hey man, what's your AIM username? Then you go home and add them on the thing. You have to be like, oh, yeah, if your brother or sister, you'd be like, oh, it's my turn to get on the computer.
Yeah, that's right. And then if you I don't know, say something stupid, you change your AIM name, something else, because you're trying to go incognito and make different friends, or not show your ex-girlfriend you're online or something. I have no idea. That was like the drama of the day. Now
it was like the Wild West almost. Like I feel like
I know, like
back
how to
then-
catch a predator.
Yeah, well, like back then you didn't have the warnings that are out now. Right now, everyone knows it's a thing. Watch what you do online. Back then, like no one was paying attention to like who like thinking back, like and some of the people I was talking to, I have no idea like if that person
ASL,
was that
man,
person.
ASL.
Yeah. Probably not. It was probably terrible.
By the way, for those that don't know what ASL means, it means age, sex, location.
Which was always true. I'm sure 100% of the time.
I usually said my age properly. I usually said I identify as a male, cisgender.
Did you put your preferred pronouns?
Yeah, my preferred pronoun is F off if you ask me about my preferred pronoun. Sorry, people that are big into preferred pronouns.
In Canada, you get fined.
Yeah, Canada's stupid.
Okay, let's not get sidetracked by that.
Sorry.
Back to social media.
It's got me frustrated.
Which is my fault.
No,
I shouldn't have
but-
threw in the Canadian thing.
I think people are just... I stopped on social media when I was trying to get all the ladies off my back because, me and Peaches, it's just like, gosh, I'm such an attractive man. Don't want to have a Facebook. No, that's actually not what it was. I just didn't want to keep up with everybody because here's the problem. When you're on social media and you're constantly updating people on what you're doing, what happens when you see them? They already know what you're doing. They don't even want to talk to you. I found out that my mom likes talking to me more when she has no idea what I'm doing. She'll legitimately ask, what have you been up to? And that's a good feeling. Don't you notice that? We have great conversations because she doesn't know what I'm doing. I'm asking you to agree or disagree.
I agree.
That is the most tepid agreement ever. But more importantly, you got to think about it like that. If you're just sharing what you're doing every day, I mean, who really cares? I want to know what you're doing when I ask you, when we're hanging out, when we're talking.
That's the whole point of catching up with someone, right? Of if you live near them, going out and maybe grabbing lunch or dinner or coffee and catching up, or if they don't live near you, giving them a phone call, seeing how they're doing, things of that nature.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think we're kind of missing out on that, and I guess being a new age parent now, where I'm going to try to raise my kid out of the specter of social media. Good luck with that one, I'm sure. But the idea of just like valuing actual time with people instead of just texting each other and having conversations with your significant other or your siblings, calling them, chastising them when they don't answer your phone calls and ignore them. You know who you are. But yeah, those are things that are important.
But there's a big component. I mean, so like I may not personally like social media, and I'm fortunate in the fact that professionally I don't need it at all. To function.
Your jobs don't require you to be exposed on social media, but somebody who's selling themselves. I'm not talking about prostitution, okay?
But it's about marketing. Like social media is such an effective way if you are in like maybe you're a journalist, maybe you're a photographer, or you have you're an artist, you have a trade, for you to build
like
that
a plumber
network around, or even a plumber. Yeah,
like hey, I can unclog them holes, and you tweet it all the time.
As stupid as this sounds, it's germane to this conversation. I watch a lot of Judge Judy. And they'll have people on there, and they'll be like, oh, I hired this person, whether it be like a plumber or a carpenter or whatever. And they'll be like, oh, well, how did you find them? Like, oh, well, and honestly, until I heard this on the show, I never even thought of it. But they're like, oh, I found the person on Facebook. And I'm like, you found them on Facebook? That's But I hear it a lot.
Hey, Felipe was on Facebook.
There you go.
Now,
Felipe
he
was
also
on
has his
Facebook.
own page, but luckily, hopefully one of our future guests will, talk more about it. But I got a good referral from somebody. I'll call it Glenn's List.
Okay.
I got it from Glenn's List.
Yep.
But he was excellent. He had a social media presence. Half of it was in Spanish. But you know what? I liked it. He was awesome. The guy was great. Did you like Felipe?
Yeah, he was good.
He was really good. Really good dude. What's that?
Great at what he does.
Great at what he does. He is a man's painter. A man's man. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? What's a man's man?
But
You're just going to skip that.
I am just going to skip that and stay on the topic. The topic of another like weird thing I encountered was in the dating scene, right? It's almost as if you're not like, you can't be verified as a real person if you don't have a social media presence. So if you start talking to a girl and then they're like, oh, what's your Facebook or, whatever, so I can add you. And it makes sense for them. They want to see, that you have a full presence with real pictures and obviously aren't a catfish or something of that nature. But it's like, well, I don't have any
Does
of that.
catfish work the other way?
Then you immediately seem sketchy, right?
Does catfish work on the woman looking for a guy that's not real? Does that exist too?
Yeah,
I've always heard about catfish.
It goes either way for sure.
Okay, and just so people who don't know, catfish, and this is my older audience who may not know, catfish is when it's not a real person that you're trying to date. It's just somebody who's trying to extort information or money from you or gifts.
It's not even that, or it could be just a person that they might be not as attractive, and they're trying to pass themselves off through fake photos as someone who is more attractive. And they might not be doing that for malicious reasons. They might be genuinely just wanting to try and make a connection with someone, but that still obviously isn't going to have a positive outcome.
Yeah, everybody's into everything. So, you can find somebody online, but don't misrepresent yourself is what you're saying.
Snapchat is very good for that, for verification.
Oh, okay. That's good. I have no idea, nor do I need to know. But,
No.
but Snapchat, what about Instagram?
It's like I don't use it same, but essentially as far as I've heard, it's like the new Facebook. I guess it's where everyone is, the younger people.
They've moved on.
Yes,
and now they just take pictures of their food.
Yes,
that's disgusting.
But that's professionally, that's big. As my family is big into tattooing. That's where they post all the pictures of their work, their portfolios. So if they, on their business cards,
that's a good point.
They have links to their Instagram and things of that nature.
Yeah, you want to, we're looking for a tattoo artist. And when you're looking for a tattoo artist, you want to see everything they've done. Maybe you're into watercolors. Maybe you're into freehand or whatever, sleeves. The more you see, the more you know if you can trust the person. You can see their whole catalog without actually going into the shop.
It's the same thing as a regular artist, right? You want to make sure that artist's style is, something that you're looking for, right?
Yeah, definitely. So social media is almost like a way to advertise in a way, the freer advertisement. Now it's difficult because there's always a paywall for things to actually be put up in front. That's why this podcast has 17 views. And I, whatever. I'll go viral someday. Actually, Peaches will, and then I'll just join the ride. But all these things are important to marketing. They're important to selling yourself. But again, that's your professional life. That's not your personal life. It's good to step away sometimes and not let yourself get drowned out from the noise, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being on social media during the last election cycle. Like, just hearing the stories was enough to make me be like, why is anyone on here? I don't understand. Why do you want to deal with that much vitriol in your general daily life?
Yeah, I agree. We're kind of getting overstimulated right now, and I think it goes back to the old adage, everything in moderation. But I forgot. I'm going to go with a bonus section. I know that some of you guys are like, wow, this show's going on forever. But it's not done yet.
I'm also like the best guest ever. I'm way better than Tony. So,
is this like a personal rivalry? Who would win in a wrestling match? I mean, he doesn't eat meat, so he's not getting all the essential proteins.
It's fine. He's just a little guy, you know?
Yeah, he's a swell fella. I mean, he's 112 pounds. Did he say, what, 140?
Yeah, I think so.
And you're like 175 probably? Yeah, we're just getting a little awkward here and just start weighing people. Weighed myself today, 216, 5'8", BMI 33.7. That's considered obese. Big bone, not fat. Anyway, so video games. You're a big gamer.
Yep.
What do you think about PC, console? What's your thing?
So I have everything. I mean, I have an Xbox, I have a PS4, I have a computer.
Aren't we bragging?
Oh, yeah. But no, I mean, I've had my computer for a while. It probably is due for a video card upgrade soon, but I mean, it depends on what you're looking for, honestly. Like, I mean, I think PC is always going to be the pinnacle. Like, regardless, you're going to get the most performance out of a computer.
So it's the muscle
always.
car. It's the muscle car of gaming. You get the most, you know.
See, I don't like that because muscle cars are only good at going like straight. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, fine.
Like
Your
I'm
analogies are off
I'm a Japanese rice burner kind of guy. So like.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go with. I'm more of a Subaru kind of guy.
Yeah.
So these are things that I would say more like the PC is very.
I mean, PC is it has the power and it's agile. You know, if a muscle car would just have the power and not be agile.
So people don't realize that the PS4 and the Xbox One are really using PC technologies from like 3 or 4 years ago.
It's what they are. Consoles are computers, just built with a specific operating system
At a specific price point too.
At a specific price point. Yeah.
I mean, you can't get the best video card's like $650 right now. I mean, I say the best. I mean, probably $750, but that's the 1080 Ti by NVIDIA. But a PS4 Pro is $400. Mm-hmm. There's an obvious reason there. You're sacrificing. But what are you playing right now?
Like I said, I have all of them. PC, I think, is the best. But I mean, there are times when you just want to sit on your couch, and I mean that's what a console is good for, right?
Naked.
You sit on your couch, not naked because you don't want
naked.
to. You don't want to stink up your couch. Let's keep it clean.
Oh, I just never mind. Sorry.
And sit on your couch and use your TV, unless you're one of those people that actually hooked your computer up to your TV. Then good for you. But right now, outside of World of Warcraft and Overwatch, which are my two, those stick around for forever, is Prey.
You playing Overwatch on the PC or you playing on the PS4?
So funny, I actually originally bought Overwatch for the Xbox, because that's usually the Xbox is what I use for like more social type games. I have friends that are playing them on Xbox.
I got you.
So I bought it on Xbox first. Yes.
Yes.
And I honestly didn't really like it on Xbox, and I played it for maybe a month. The controls just didn't appeal to me. But then over Christmas, I have a friend who's big into playing it on PC, and he's, wanted me to play with him, and he is, wanted me to get back into it, so he actually, gifted it to me on PC. So I started playing it on there, and it is just worlds different, so much better.
Better?
So much more fun on the PC.
So there you go. I mean, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm a big PC guy. I love PC because you can kind of customize everything. And I know some of our listeners, like Glenn, are like, "F off! I don't want to develop my PC. You'd have to upgrade this and that. I just want to plug and play." So he's got his PS4, and he'd probably complain about that when I talk to him about how stupid PC is. But PS4 also has its advantages too, because it I can put a nice skin on it. Mine has Darth Vader.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
You
definitely couldn't do that with a gaming computer.
I mean, you could, but it would. I mean, it doesn't matter. I did it to my PS4, and it's easier to me to take my PS4 into different rooms than my giant tower.
Yeah.
And but Prey. Before I get to Prey, if you have a PC and you have a dedicated graphics card, play Civilization 6 because it's awesome. And Total War Warhammer, because any Warhammer game is worthwhile.
Yeah, those are two games that I need to pick up that I haven't found time.
And PS4 Blood Bowl 2. I don't really play all these games. I play them enough that I have them, but I have like an attention deficit disorder. But I did beat The Witcher.
Oh God, you didn't really beat The Witcher though.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I won the Gwent tournament.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more going on. I mean, I haven't played The Witcher, so I don't know firsthand.
Peaches, I beat The Witcher, did I not?
No, you beat the game in The Witcher.
So there's a game within this game called The Witcher. The Witcher is a 3D fantasy that's going to be a Netflix show, actually. When I say 3D fantasy, I mean like an open world. You're this giant like vampire hunter or something. I don't even know. It's called The Witcher.
You don't even know what the premise of the game.
He's got white hair. He looks like me in my dreams. But he plays a card game, and he won. And then I stopped playing, because that's the point.
And there's going to be a show on Netflix about it.
About the card game.
Not about the card game.
They better play Gwent in the freaking show. That'd be amazing. Gwent is like Pokemon on steroids. I don't know. I just remember the music. It's so good. Anyway, back to what we were saying. So, Prey.
Yeah.
What's the deal with Prey? I mean, don't spoil it for my mom, but 'cause she's probably like, can't wait to play Prey.
I have it sitting there ready to install.
Yeah. Yeah, what is it like? What is that like one of those like big blockbuster games that had a lot of fanfare? Is it more of a kind of an radar title?
It might have had more fanfare. I mean, to me, it wasn't on my radar at all. And generally, I paid, I mean, not like super close attention, but generally I'm aware of what's going on. So I didn't even know, because I mean, it's from Bethesda, and I mean, Bethesda's obviously a pretty big game producer. Even though they're like the higher tier producer.
Yeah, what Bethesda is that? What game is that?
Fallout.
Fallout's Bethesda?
Yeah.
Okay, Bethesda also did the Morrowind.
Yep. Also the Elder
Scrolls series, including Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
So they're big into open world stuff. This is not open world though. This is more along the lines of BioShock.
World. Yeah.
Which I never played and heard it was amazing.
Yeah, the first one was good. I didn't play any after that. But regardless, I mean it's a confined world. I mean it's not, you know, obviously as big as your like Fallout 3 DC area or, you know, anything to that extent, but you are generally free to explore, you know, on your own, and you can discover a lot of, you know, ways into different places that the story hasn't taken you yet, or might not take you.
What's the setting? Is it so it's a space station?
Yes, and this will probably be like minor spoilers. Like
I'm not trying to spoil it because
what I'm saying is it's things like you would find out in like the first hour of playing the game, right?
Well, I mean, it's a sci-fi thriller, and it says you're in a space station at some point. So, I mean, what you're telling me is that when you start playing, you get hooked.
Yeah. I feel like something that game companies probably don't do as well as, and I hate to say as they used to do, because I mean it doesn't really make sense, right?
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers 3 didn't really hook you. It just was like
you weren't immersed in the world of Super Mario.
But
3.
Ocarina of Time. Oh, that's not really a good example.
Right. You would think that games would get more immersive as time goes on, because they're able to, you know, make the graphics more realistic. They're able to make the sounds so much more, you know, realistic, and you know, use all these factors to draw you in better. But at the end of the day, in my opinion,
it's a rare thing.
It is a rare thing.
I mean, you have your Last of Us. You have the original Mass Effect. You know, the first time you play a game like that, you have, again, I'm drawing blanks, Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
You know, the games that you really remember that just drew you in, which, by the way, that game, you're a terrorist in whatever. It doesn't matter. But these games that draw you in and you can't put them down. The Witcher is one of them. I hope that they have more of them. Red Dead Redemption's another one. We need more of those because I'm not into the online games. Again, I'm not into social media. I'm like, give me a game with a good story because I don't read books.
But even for me, like the huge open world ones aren't. I get too lost in those almost. Like I can do them for a while, but then I just get lost somewhere out doing some stupid side quest and like
trying to hunt for achievements and stuff like that.
No, I do not hunt.
Okay,
for
well,
I don't get that serious about it.
Yeah, I just lower the difficulty all the way and play all these games and play the way that I really am instead of trying to be strategic.
No, but Prey is a really good game. It definitely I've been trying to sell like everybody on it. And it's just really immersive. The story is well done. There's the characters are also well done. Like you may be reading different things about in different emails,
the personal lives of people, stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
and it's just like through emails, but you're still getting immersed into what these characters were doing.
Right. Well, then I have a major spoiler about Prey. Sorry, guys. Do listen, because this major spoiler is important. There is an email where it says something along the lines of, so-and-so, your character sheet is on the printer. So to know that they play something like D&D, I thought that was hilarious. I thought it was
you will see more on that as it goes
Oh, really?
on. There's actually there's honestly one of my favorite parts kind of centers around favorite areas centers around that and just gets a lot into it just shows you a lot of the lives of the people that lived on this space station.
And probably the lives of the people that wrote the game, because character sheet isn't like a common word, something that we all use. So it's like it's kind of neat that way. Like games that can immerse you and make you forget that Donald Trump's president and that Hillary Clinton's email server, all these things that can make us forget about that are good for society. And please go out and support your local economy as well. I mean, I'm not saying just immerse yourself in video games, but do something different. Don't just sit on social media. Play a game like Prey. It's probably worth it. I recommend it.
Go to your local game store, buy a board game, buy a tabletop book, and run a game for a group of friends. Try something new and different.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a big fan of that. I think going retro, without saying it's retro. I mean, it's still board games, anything like that. They're all worthwhile. So please do indulge. I do want to mention something. Somebody did. I'm going to say there was a suggestion that we needed more peaches in the show. They only
As she looks skeptically.
Well,
I don't think that's true.
It is true. Every single time I get a critique from this certain individual, I can't tell you if he gets to this point. He'll let me know that he listened to the whole thing. He said we need more peaches, and she's too quiet. What have you to say?
About what?
About how we need more peaches and she's too quiet.
Oh, that's the topic. Okay. I don't know. I'm just a quiet person.
So what you're saying is maybe the podcast isn't your thing, but you're doing it because your husband wants you to do it?
I'm here for support.
Emotional?
Silently.
You're here for silent support in the corner? Well, maybe we'll have an episode where we really draw you out. Or maybe I'll interview you. Probably shouldn't brainstorm on the spot in the show. Sorry, everybody. This is just how it works. This is what my brain does. But anyway, I'd like to thank Albino Justin for doing this show. I didn't even ask him what he thought of his steak because the last guest doesn't like meat. What'd you think of that steak?
The steak was pretty delicious.
Pretty delicious. I'm a master chef of steak using man skills and woman skills because Peaches knows how to grill too. But charcoal, grill, steak, good. Very simple words there. But thank you, Justin, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We didn't get a lot of Bruce breathing. It may have gone a little long, but hopefully everybody enjoys it. Hopefully it was a good conversation, and I didn't use the word basically too many times. Been critiquing myself. Any closing thoughts, Peaches?
No.
Good. Justin,
Hit the like button and subscribe. Comment.
is there a like button or is it like a thumbs up?
Yeah, there's like a thumbs up button.
Okay, I just have to tell my mom because she doesn't like if I say like, she'll be like, "Whoa, where's the like button?" You know, I can't find it. Sorry, Mom, that's not really how you sound, but it is. All right, thank you everybody for listening, and we hope to have you again sometime soon. All right.